Hi Pisces, happy April. I hope you're doing well. Okay. All right, guys. I think that April is going to be amazing for you. Okay. Your messages are huge. So I think that, and I threw your cards already. We'll go over them. I didn't go through them, but I have an idea of what's going on here. I think either you tried to launch something, or it was a relationship, or you tried to do something. Either way, it may not have turned out exactly like you thought. Okay. I think what it's doing is this is exactly why, and I'm thrilled to show that the 12th house is not the house of horrors, right? You can either choose to make it that, or you can choose to really grow as a whole and spiritually there. And that's exactly what you're doing, I have a feeling. Okay. I think someone may either have made you feel you know, not welcomed. Uh, uh, I just think someone may have hurt your feelings or said something, or I think it's more that you may have perceived something a certain way, than more so than it was intended. Okay. Because a lot of times, like we say, it doesn't, sometimes what people say and how we receive it are two totally different things. I don't think someone intentionally did this, but I think also what may have happened is this may have been cumulative, right? It may have happened over a period of time, and you're just at a point where you're like, at a certain point we have to make changes in our lives, right? So I think what you've done is you've just really not, you're not trying to appease the masses anymore. You're not trying to win approval from people. You're really just, and not having to defend yourself either. I think that the choices that we make in life, first and foremost, need to be self-honoring, right? And then, the rest flows according to that. When we do it ass backwards is when we run into trouble, right? When we're trying to appease everyone else and we forget about ourselves. I think what you're doing is, this is a big spiritual awakening for you, which changes your life on every front. And I think that it's going to be wonderful. It's acceptance of yourself. It's finding peace in that. It's realizing that, you know what? The universe is always rigged in my favor. So I'm going to work on the things that I can work on. I'm going to control the things that I can't control, and I'm going to release the rest, right? And just let the universe handle it for me, right? You're on a spiritual quest now. You're really looking for the meaning for yourself. I think it could be a time of travel too. You may be, taking a spiritual class somewhere, or you may be you it doesn't need to be a physical travel, but I think you're just really, you're wanting to get your hooks into something right now, right? Something on the creative front, I feel. Okay. But what I want to say here is I think what this does too is I think it opens doors to a new circle for you. Okay, I think whatever you're doing, you're gonna just be discerning of the people that you let in, right? Nothing good, better, and different, but we don't want to go into a new venture and just make sure that you're aligning yourself with like-minded people, really, because I think that that's one of the great spiritual lessons in life too, is that we are supposed to be here to do the things that we're supposed to be doing, right? But we're supposed to also be, it's a ripple effect. We're supposed to align ourselves and vice versa with the people that all make us, encourage us, and that we don't need to be with, people that are at odds with us. It's just, it serves no purpose, honestly. Okay. So there you have it. I think too, see if you've got Aries anywhere in your chart. This is the same energy card that came in with Aries. Okay, and I shuffled the deck, I assure you, and I cleared the energy. I did all of that. Okay, but this is great because this is also an archetype or a person who's very, very in tune. Okay, they don't really give a crap, you know, what other people think of them. They're very divinely connected. They know their worth. They know what they stand for. It's a wonderful person. Okay, a very caring, giving, receptive. You know, our kill 'em with kindness queen here, right? But she doesn't, and I think maybe too, I didn't even. This is why I said be discerning. Don't trust people blindly. Okay. I don't know where that's coming in, but I would jot it down because it must mean something. Okay. All right. Oh, and this is great. What you've got behind it, is the Tower card. And I'm going to show you why it's wonderful. Okay, and I'm going to show you why the 12th house, again, is not the house of horror. It's a wonderful house. This right here, it could be framed. It's so wonderful. Your life is really about to shift here. Huge. All right. All right. Here we go. All right. Your how you come into this, your lesson for April, Pisces, is the 8 of Swords. Okay. This sometimes is a card of wanting to make a change, of knowing you need to make a change, right? This is not the card where it's horror when it shows up. This is great. This is your lesson in all of this. All right. It's moving in a different direction here. Okay. That's why I think that someone may have hurt your feelings too, or you know, someone said something in passing. I just think that somehow something shook you out of like a stasis, so to speak, right? Sometimes we don't even know our life is there until we're hitting opposition or someone says something and it really just hits you in a way that wakes something up, right? And I think that sometimes this card, as horrible as it looks, it's not. It's a card of just really knowing that it's time to make change. It's time to get harmony back in your life, okay? And that's your lesson coming in here. I think too, again, it goes back to that thread of knowing your value, right? Of really knowing your value, and that there is a larger force than yourself, and it's always rigged in your favor. So a lot of times, you know, just because we feel like something happened or someone said something and it really hurt our feelings, what it's doing is it sometimes, I mean, granted, people can be mean sometimes, obviously, but I think sometimes too it's what we need to wake us up sometimes, right? When we don't even know that we're asleep here. Pisces, I think this is beyond lovely because I think you're about to get a spiritual awakening here that changes your life, like in a grandiose way. I think that whatever it was that you were doing or wanted to do, or someone may have said something to you too, where like, you can't do that. You know, that's why I'm really going out on a I'm going to push the envelope here that you really need to surround yourself with like-minded people. You may have been trying to do something and you get those people consistently that are, you know, you can't do that. Why would you want to do that? You know, it could be something like that too. Whatever it was, it shook up your world. And it's a blessing in disguise, okay? Now, what you hoped or wanted here was the Knight of Wands, okay? This is creative energy, okay? It's going in a direction that is exciting, right? He's driven by excitement, right? All right, that's what you hoped or wanted. And I think whatever it was didn't take off like you had thought it would, right? And I think what happened here, let me get through the cards first because I'm pretty sure I know exactly what happened here. Okay, now what's on your mind here is the Four of Cups. Okay, again, when the music changes, so does the dance, right? We need to change some things sometimes, right? This is knowing that though, okay? It's knowing you need to do that. There's a difference between being complacent and just thinking that the world should critique to you, or, and that's the 12th house lessons too, right? That's why people think that it's a crazy house. You can choose to make it like that, you know, or you can choose to use it to your advantage, right? You're divinely connected in that house, okay? So that's what's on your mind, you know. And this too, again, in here, in your read, is a message coming to you. And I know that this is a spiritual awakening. I just know that, okay? You're going to have to trust me on this, okay? Now, what you hoped would happen here, what you hope will happen here, is the Page of Coins. This is, again, bringing whatever this is to a different arena, right? You're going to critique it different. You're going to do it different. You're doing something different, okay? With this, keep in mind, you know, from little acorns, big trees grow. There's no rush here. Take your time and enjoy every minute of this, okay? Now, the thing is, I tell you that because here's the seed, okay? What happens here is this, the 9 of Coins. See what I mean? These are the blessings in our life that prove that the universe, without a doubt, is always rigged in our favor. Always. Anytime we trip or we fall or we get knocked down, there's a reason for that. You know, those are the things that are divine intervention. Those are the things that are protecting us for a reason, right? What do they say? Rejection is protection, right? I don't know. I know I heard that somewhere. Anyway, that's what is the likely outcome here, okay? What prohibits you from moving forward here, again, you've got the 10 of Coins. It's the people that are around you. Get rid of them. They're not supporting you, okay? This shows up in the position that inhibits you here from moving forward. You've got to be, again, I'm thinking this is why I was saying this, be very discerning with the people. You know, the funny thing is too that when, you know, we're crashing and burning, there's no one to be found, right? But when we're successful or things are going our way, or you know, we're bringing in extra money or something, right? It's amazing the people that show up, right? They're not your ally here, okay? So be discerning. Okay. Now, what balances you is this new beginning. It's the choice to do this. It's a conscious choice that you're making in your life to change things, right? This is where the 12th house can, you know, either throw you into hell on earth, or you can be enlightened, and you're choosing to be, you're a going forward kind of person anyway, right? You're not letting fear, and that's one thing with Pisces is fear can trip them up sometimes. That goes back again to childhood, where, you know, most likely your parents were just, you know, afraid of their shadow, and that carries over, right? It's that lack mentality where it kind of screws you over until you figure it out that it's just not working, right? But this is what balances you, is new beginnings, making a choice, jumping off the ledge, you know, you're doing it. All right. Now, what motivates you, again, all riled up, right? You've got the 8 of Wands. That is, again, a card of forward movement, okay? Things may be up in the air right now. Things may not have a clear, direct path. Things with this card work behind the scenes. There is divine intervention with this card, okay? There are things aligning for you behind the scenes, and I really think you can feel it, okay? That's what motivates you. Spiritual growth, okay? Forward movement, okay? All right. Now, what you've forgotten in all of this is that you can do this. You can absolutely do this. This is divine connection here, okay? You are one. You're divinely connected, heaven and earth, right here in this card. That's what you forgot, okay? Now, I want to say this. This card in your outcome card here is Venus and Virgo, okay? what people aren't going to tell you about that house is it's not the house of work and help and service. That was it's the people that work for us. It's the people that the tradespeople. It's not for, that's not the house where your works is. That's the 10th house. Okay, I'm telling you this because I want you to know something. Okay, that house of Virgo, the 6th house, is they call it the crisis house. Okay, because it's where we learn, you know, that life really isn't all it's cracked up to be. Exactly what's happening here, right? And what we can do with it is we can choose to either recognize it and go in a different route, right? Hence the 12th house, which is another house that people hate. They're terrified of it. Change is a good thing, but when you're terrified of it and you choose to not do it and you buck the system and continue to try to do it your way, it's when your life really just continually hits walls. But you're not doing that. You're taking this and you're running with it, and you're realizing that, you know what, my idea may not have been perceived like I thought it would, you know, but I'm going to do it a different way now. Okay, so because anyway, what is crisis, right? What is illness? It's temporary, right? It's temporary until we figure out a different way. That's all that it is, right? So I just wanted you to be a little bit enlightened about that. Okay, so there you have it. Okay, this is really, in this house of Virgo is when you know, our 5th house of dreams collide with the friend's house, right? The how people see us in the world. It's when those two collide, when what we've got really isn't perceived. How, you know, it's where we're voted in or out, basically, by society, right? Is what happens there. And in Virgo is where we realize that, you know what, this kind of did not work out how I planned. So let me restructure myself, right? And this is what's happening here. This is exactly what you're doing, okay? And I think that through awareness of all of this is where all the gates open for you. When you just release the things that you know you have absolutely no control over, this is when this happens. And I think that it's wonderful, okay? Your creative ideas are going to flow. Projects that were holed up are going to start clearing up. You're going to start seeing different pathways. People are going to start coming into your life now. Make sure, though, right, that there are people that are helping you. It's a time now where you're being discerning. Why go through all of this work, right, only to align yourself with people that aren't going to support you? You have no need for that. Let them go find the people that really are okay, and make sure that the people that are in your circle are really in your circle for your greater good, okay? Because you're the doers, don't forget. You're the helpers. Don't take your focus now off of what you're doing here. Now is your time, okay? So I think that this is wonderful. You're open, you're receptive, you know. And let me tell you, this card, you don't get here by not doing the work, because in the Virgo house, you can sink or swim. It's your choice. But to get here, you're swimming. You're open, you're divinely connected. Okay, that's a very, very intuitive house too. Okay. So there you go. And I'm throwing the houses and the signs. Pay no mind to them. Your cards are sitting here. This is your reading, but I'm pointing things out to you, okay, so that you're aware of certain things. Because a lot of times people will give you the rosy end of things, and I'm just telling you, you know, that doesn't help anyone, because then you get your reading and you're sitting at home thinking, okay, well, now what, right? I'm showing you how to maneuver these things, okay? So once we know what we're doing and we know how to do it, we can get going, and we know what's behind the scenes. So that's was the reason that I took that little detour there. Go slow, pace yourself, be open to receiving, okay? You're on a spiritual journey right now, is what you're doing. It's philosophy. It's trying to, you know, what is real? What is real in my life? What can I use? How, you know, ask for guidance too. You'll see signs. I assure you will. You already know that this is what's happening. And if you don't, now I'm telling you, okay, if you're sitting there thinking, why are these people, you know, rejecting me? or this or that. It just means that it has nothing to do about them. It's the universe trying to course correct you a little bit, right? And it's protecting you from probably exerting yourself further in one direction when you're supposed to be going in a different direction. And that's what you're learning here. This is what April is going to be to you, okay? So, given that you've got the same energy card coming in and you're now tilling new land, right? I think that, you know, check out Aries, you know, video too. And they had a creative new thing too. I think that this is wonderful. And I think that what we're going to see is, you know, everyone's asking since January, why this year was supposed to be better. You know what? Aries season starts now. This is the new year. We were just purging the last couple of months. That's all, okay? To make room for this, because this is huge. These are the big changes, okay? But they start inside first, and I think people are figuring that out, right? So there you have it. Okay, pace yourself. This is a wonderful time. I think that this is great. Please just be open to this. Don't shoot yourself in the foot by just closed-mindedness. You know, Virgo needs things to be exactly how they want them to be, and exactly they want to know it. Just release that because that's what is tying you up. Just release that. Of course, control what you can, but you've just got to release the things that you can't, okay? So there you have it. Thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful April. I know you will.